This just in, welcome to the Lightning Boys podcast. Yes, that's right, we're here. It is 10 p.m. That means it is time for the Lightning Boys podcast news hour. I'm your host, Toast BH here, and boy, do we have a show for you tonight. And yes, if you're thinking about those big old stonks, that's correct. We're going to be hitting deep dive into what's happening with the little man and the big man. And keep in mind, as a disclaimer, nobody on this show is providing any sort of financial advice, and you should take everything we say with a grain of salt. Now, to help me discuss this very intense moment in our lifetime, in our 2021 lifetime, I do have to bring in our host, the man, the legend. Some have said that he has more investments under his belt than anyone else on the market currently. Sloshula, how are you doing?
Hi, Toast. I'm doing great. That was a big old lie. I am not good at investing. I don't know anything I'm talking about. Thank you for having me on.
Now, you know, we were talking in the pre-show, and I feel like you're just being very humble right now. Like you're being a very humble person. And I want to say, in our pre-talks here, and in my analysis, my notes that are right here in front of me, I was told that you were in fact quite the avid investor in some alternative currencies. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, so I have invested in Dogecoin, very lightly, very small amount of money I put into Dogecoin, and I'm really just hoping that memes kind of send me to the moon at this point.
You know, can you talk to me about this? Is this a metaphorical moon that you're going to? Are we taking like a Tesla spaceship? Are you like where does this go? Where is this coming from?
Yeah. No, I'm hoping that I make enough money off of my incredibly small investment that I can buy a spaceship and go actually physically onto the moon. That's kind of the end game here. At this rate, it looks like it's going to be a very, very cheap spaceship, but a spaceship nonetheless.
Okay. Now, can you tell me a little bit, when you're taking you're doing your research and you're figuring out what to do and where to put your money, what are you thinking? What's going through your mind?
Thank you. That's a great question, Tess. Nothing is going through my mind really ever at any point in time. So whenever I'm making an investment, my eyes are closed. I kind of just press randomly on the phone screen until I have less money in my bank account, and then I wait for the green numbers to tell me I did a good job.
Now, do you ever have your Yahtzee cup next to you and you kind of hit those green buttons, eyes closed, faith in whatever you believe in, and throw it out and say Yahtzee and look, and then that's when you see the green numbers?
No, actually what I do is I have a magic 8-ball, many magic 8-balls actually, and I just slam it really hard with a sledgehammer, and it will explode. And wherever the shards hit on my wall, I have just an assortment of different stocks I can invest in. Wherever those shards hit, those are just the ones that I assume are going to do well. And then again, I close my eyes and just hope for the best.
What has been your biggest success in the 2021 stock market?
Great question. Nothing. I haven't had really any sort of major successes at all. I'm really just along for the ride and hoping for the best. Again, I know I have nothing going through my mind at any point in time, and that shows with my bank account. Has a similar amount of zeros in there. But no number before them. It's just all zeros.
I was going to be my next question, is that hopefully there was a number before them, but it seems as if you're not doing so hot, and that my advisors
deep in the red,
to
Toast. Deep in the rest. Deep in the red. Yeah.
Well, you know, after that rousing discussion about your finances, I feel like let's dive into kind of the meat and bones of this issue. You know, does the little man deserve to make any kind of money?
Deserve? That's a tough question. This is capitalism, so no one really deserves to make any money unless you already have money. If you're born into money, then you absolutely deserve to have that money. If you were not born into money, then no one really deserves to have that money except for the people that already have all that money. That's kind of where everyone seems to kind of go astray here, is they think that they can get money, and we found out today untrue. You know, I was going to ask you, how do you make money if you don't start with money? But from what you're saying, it sounds like you can't don't
do that.
Yeah, you don't. You just don't.
So tell me, Mr. Mr. Eula,
Yes.
tell me, what's up with GameStop right now? What is happening with that?
I'm glad you asked. I'm going to drop this bit
Okay,
now.
that's fine. I'm good.
Wow. What an actual insane like just insane week, actually, just insane week. And again, yeah, we're not gonna talk really about the nitty-gritty of what the hell is actually going on. I've learned more about the stock market that this past week than I've ever known, and I actually do have investments. I probably should have looked into it long before, but I really was just like, oh, there's some green numbers there. I guess I'm doing well, making money. But now I actually know what's going on, at least a little bit. I know at least a little bit now, but what's actually happening with my money. But yeah, with GameStop, good Lord, man.
It's insane.
I feel like I don't have to explain to anybody what we're talking about here, but Reddit memed people into millions.
It's actually hysterical because it's not a falsehood. Like, Reddit memed people into millions.
Yeah.
I am gonna throw out just a really brief top-down overview of what happened as I understand it. Right.
Right.
So essentially, some brokers had pulled out 140% of GameStop stocks. How that's possible is through a thing called shorting, which we're not really going to talk too much about. Essentially, you're like borrowing and selling, and then it's fucked up. It's really fucked up. It's weird as shit. There's a great Twitter post that everyone is tweeting. Go look at that.
Right. Yeah.
So a bunch of people noticed it on the Wall Street Bets Reddit, subreddit, and they were like, "Let's go in deep. Let's go," and they all piled on. And the thing about shorts is that you want it to make less money so that you make money off of the difference. But if it makes money, if the stocks start costing more money, it's bad for you. If you were the one who did the shorting.
Yeah.
And so these brokers are now losing literally unlimited money. It is literally
Just billions.
Unlimited money. There's no upper limit to how much money you can lose. And so over the past 4 or 5 days, everyone has been jumping in, and what was originally like a $5 stock price is now over $500. I think it went down a bit, but it peaked over $450.
So at the time of when we were streaming this, it did drop down because of Robinhood and many other apps stopping people being able to purchase all the Reddit meme stocks, right? GameStop, Nokia, Bed Bath & Beyond, Blockbuster, like all these things that you probably stopped thinking about. But yeah, I think it's around $250 right now, which is still so much, right? Because this actually started long before this past week, right? Like it started, I think, in like one guy, I think it was September of 2019
put in $50,000.
Yeah, and then people started kind of catching on a few months after that, and then it really caught fire the past like 2 weeks, and then I mean, at this point, like everyone is talking about GameStop stock and buying Nokia and Dogecoin. Like it's
AMC as well. Like there's a few of them out
AMC,
there.
yeah. It is. It's funny. It's honestly funny. I've been in meetings and we start the meeting off like, so what is going on right now? And then we just talk about GameStop for a bit. It's been the most I've ever talked about GameStop, I think, since I was, I don't know, 15.
Yeah, I'm like, it's taken more like of my mental energy today, yesterday and the day before that, since the week came out and I wanted to go play the demo unit in the store. Which, now in the post-COVID era, I'm like, I can't believe I touched those nasty freaking controllers in the store. That's foul.
Yeah, like going to like a doctor's office that had like a console there. I don't know if you did you have one of those? Mine had a Dreamcast.
Oh,
my dentist.
Good
My dentist had a Dreamcast.
I want to go to the dentist.
I know. I played Sonic on it. It was great. But yeah, and then like going to like Best Buy, or I think they had like GameCubes and McDonald's and stuff like that. Like think about it now. It's like, that is
gross.
So it's gross, man. Why would I? Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But yeah, it's a pretty like nuts situation overall. And
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess, I mean, I think now, what's kind of like a lot of really good things have come from this, right? But like, we could talk about like all the negatives that, have happened really essentially just today on this Thursday before what everyone's calling the big squeeze on Friday, right? So, yeah, so I mean, there's been lots of posts of people that got in a bit early, even when GameStop was at like $80, $90, that have come out with like $60, $70, $100,000 now. And I've seen the posts where it's like, my dog needed surgery, and thanks to this, I'm able to do that. My mom was struggling with house payments. Now I can help her out. Like, a lot of
really
good has come from this.
I think too, it like kind of shows that the stock market is a whole lot of like voodoo bullshit, and like that's kind of exciting too.
Money's fake.
Like
money's fake,
trees,
man.
Literally, it just grows on freaking trees. I do think it's funny though that, whenever I looked at it briefly in the past, people always were like, you should, like, AMD is a very safe investment. They're very stable. Like, it's a great way to make it into the market. And for me, I just always thought it was so strange that like people are telling you to invest in companies that, like, I have that in my computer, like that's weird. Or GameStop, where it's like, that's the place on the block that smells kind of bad because nobody in there watches, but you can get overpriced video games and all of that. And like, like I think there's just such a, for me at least, I feel like there's just like in my head a disconnect between this is the like ephemeral stock market, ineffable, like it does what it do, and then over here is like, that's a Best Buy, there's a GameStop, they make computer parts, like totally removed. And that's just such a weird like break for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was really, I didn't really try to separate it too much when I started. Again, I've only put a little bit into the stock market, just to kind of like dip my fingers in to see if it's something that I'm comfortable with doing, right? And so, yeah, like the stuff I was investing in was like Sony. I was like, I know people are going to want the PS5, so I invested in Sony when they were a bit lower, and I made money off of that because I sold, like kind of after that PS5 ultra hype kind of died, right? And then their stock went down, right? I invested like Twitter when they banned Donald Trump, their stocks dipped. I'm like, that's going to jump back up. It's Twitter. Yeah. And of course it did, right? And so it's these things that like I know and I care about, right? I was going to be trying to invest in like Nintendo, and again, just like things that I know and care about. Funny story, actually. So this is a slightly off topic, but right after Biden won the election, right, like in November, I was like, oh, Democrats want to legalize weed. So I put money into cannabis stocks. Lo and behold, they skyrocketed. So yeah, it's like things that I know about, and like that's the only time, like, I tried investing in, like, God, I don't know if people even care, but like, just like these things that I've never heard of, like, and no, it didn't feel right. Instead, I wanted to invest in Sony and Twitter and so cannabis
here's
stocks,
a question
apparently.
for you that I was just asked a little while ago. Weird sample size of a very small sample size, but basically, like, do you feel like there's just like the people, not like people who work on Wall Street and who like do this sort of work, but do you feel like you see a lot more men talking about investing than you do women? I feel like when I've seen people talk about this, they're always men or like male facing figures, male showing figures, and I just don't get it. Like, is that why?
I mean, I don't know, right? It's kind of, it's probably another thing to do with the power struggle, right? Because I mean, if you just look at CNBC, which I knew very little about until, again, very recently, but whenever you look at their panels, it's always just a bunch of white dudes, right? Every single time, right? Just a bunch of white dudes, usually pretty old too.
Did you see the clip that's going around of that old white dude who was like, I feel like they're targeting rich people, wealthy people, and it's bullshit.
Yeah. It's It's like, bro, I'm sorry. Cry me a goddamn river, dude. I don't care.
Maybe you should buy less avocado toast, bro. Like,
Yeah, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, homie. It's so funny, dude. That shit's so funny to me. Yeah, just like the disconnect is so real. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's probably to kind of go back to that. I think it really is a power thing, right? White dudes think that they're all powerful and will be rich forever and will continue being rich. And if you're anything other than a white dude, they'll be like,
what are
you doing?
okay? So like, what are some things that are white that are also good? Because white dudes aren't good. Sorry, Slosh.
It's fine. I understand. I understand.
But like, white bread is delicious. White rice is delicious.
Delicious. Yeah, though you could add some butter to that. You can do a lot with rice that makes it better.
Exactly, but like the base as a whole is just
The base as a
you know? Like what other things do we think of that are like white that are like good? But you know what is interesting? White rice, not very good for you. White bread,
Is it
not
not?
very good for you generally. I mean, white rice is okay, but I think it's the general like carbohydrates that turn into sugars really easily sort of thing. Brown rice is way better for you. Brown bread is probably better for you because it's more whole wheat or like it's got nuts in it or something shit like that. I don't know.
I mean, health stuff aside, you got sugar and you got salt.
White
right?
Salt is great.
Yeah. I mean, again, both of them not good for you at all, but screw off. I want my salt and sugar. And you got I mean, saltines, very tasty.
Okay, I feel like
All right.
saltines are kind of like saltines is like I don't know, because they don't make like dark saltines, you know? They don't make like
I mean, sometimes they burn them a little bit.
That's true.
You get a nice, good, crispy
but the burn
saltine
is
in there.
nice. Now, okay, we
Yeah.
were saltine slush. Are you okay? First of all, saltines are like the classic. You're not feeling well. They're very basic. They're very like easy on the stomach. They're like Tums,
Yeah.
but not an antacid. But when you take your saltine slush, are you kind of like put butter on the saltine? Are you put like a marmalade on the saltine? I can't believe it's not butter on the saltine. Like, how do you ingest your saltines? You have them raw?
All right, so we got a few options here for me, right? For one, I'll eat them with some tomato soup, either dipping or you crumble them in a little bit. Super tasty. With peanut butter is my other favorite way to eat saltines. And yeah, I also just kind of eat them plain. Like they're like surprisingly filling.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm a saltines fanboy. I mean, I'll die on the hill of saltines. I'll come out and say it.
I don't think anyone here is challenging you.
I think everyone's challenging me right now. I feel incredibly challenged. I'm starting to feel honestly a little oppressed about my saltine feeling.
I can hit the button that
it's-
just kicks you from the show right now if you'd like.
I feel like you would be oppressing me more, and I think that's censorship.
Keep on believing that, buddy. If you haven't tried a little bit of butter, in my family growing up, we had the kind of like, I can't believe it's not butter, which is, I don't live with my family anymore, and I don't eat fake butter no more. So like, but and then a little bit of marmalade or fruit preserves. Very good.
I don't think I've ever eaten marmalade. I'm gonna be honest. I've never owned marmalade. I don't know if I've ever eaten marmalade. What even is marmalade?
I don't know. It's like, it's marmalade. I don't know. It, like growing up, like,
Is it like a jelly?
marmalade, and preserves were all the same thing in my family. Maybe they weren't.
Okay.
But like in my head, that's just how I remember it. Even though that we had all three of those products at different times, and we would all call them marmalade, I think.
So it's like a jelly.
It's like, yeah, it's a spread.
Is
it's
it
a
like?
spread.
Is it like?
It's like,
Is it like spicy?
no, it's the marmalade. I don't know. It's like sweet.
I mean, would you tell me it's just marmalade?
Sweet.
I have
It's
no
like- it's
idea what that
citrusy.
means.
It's like citrusy. It's like
Oh.
it's like a fruit preserve, but it's more of a spread with that, and it's not as chunky. It's nice. It's
Okay.
nice. Honestly, it's nice.
Okay, I got you.
Have you ever had Marmite? I have not.
Oh, actually, I've tried Marmite. That's the incredibly salty, like Australian thing, right?
I
Is
think
that
it's an
that
English
Marmite?
thing, which makes sense because they sent their shit all over the world.
Yeah. But it's like that like tar color,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's like
The-
gross looking.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I've tried it. I really disliked it, and there's a chance that I just put too much on, but it
No,
was.
I don't think you did.
It was, yeah. Not a fan of the Marmite, which is unfortunate because I like enjoying things, and I did not enjoy that at all. And it could like, and I was really confused because like everyone likes this, right? I've heard so many good things about this, and it's just trash. Yeah. Okay, you've pulled it up now. You've pulled it up. Okay, yeah. So I am thinking of the right thing because it kind of looks like Nutella.
Molasses. Or Nutella.
Oh, molasses is really good.
Molasses is
Really
fabulous. You know, it's just a byproduct of making sugar. Most people don't know that.
Molasses just a byproduct?
Brown sugar too. Brown sugar just has basically molasses in it. So in the process of refining sugar, what you get like normal sugar, you get brown sugar, which isn't as like removed, and the molasses is a lot of the like other stuff.
Oh,
I think.
I mean, that's just interesting as hell, dude. I mean, it kind of makes sense because brown sugar just tastes like kind of dry molasses.
Yeah, because it is sort of.
We're learning.
No, it's just not as heavy. So some cookie recipes will have you do brown sugar and then a little bit of molasses, and it doesn't become overpowering. It's just kind of.
And then you've put the butter in there too. Whenever you got brown sugar and molasses, it's like throw a big chunk of butter in there too. Oh, baby.
You've got nice butter. I'm telling you. Kate's Creamery or Plugra. Plugra?
Bro, I have no idea. I don't know what you're trying to tell me right
on
now.
the nice butter. It's worth it. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Is this a north thing?
Oh.
I haven't lived in the north in like over a decade.
Okay, but you lived norther than I did. You're gonna tell me no.
Yes.
But here.
Wait, no, I guess technically I didn't because I lived in the little.
A while ago, and you were like, "No, I live in the dip, in the Canadian dip, bro."
Is that what I sound like?
That's what you sound like now.
How? What? That sounds nothing like me. That was one of the worst
were you in
impressions
Ontario?
of me.
Toronto?
Don't you dare call it Ontario. But yes, I was in Ontario. So there you go. You can look at the map there. Of much like 100% of the rest of the people who live in Ontario, I was in the greater Toronto area, and then wow, you are not having a good time with this map, huh? And then I moved closer to London, Ontario, which is even closer to Michigan.
Map.
Wow, you're just learning a lot about Toronto right now. This is great.
Oh god.
It's got a decent transportation system. They got a really tall building. They had a really, really strange mayor for a period of time that everyone made fun of that did crack. And they got a really stupid flag. The Ontario flag's dumb.
Cool.
That's all you need to know.
Cool.
Well, about
a boot.
That's the only thing you need to know about. Don't you
boot?
dare.
Boot.
That's not. I did not even say a boot,
No,
and that's not even what the accent sounds like. It's a boat.
Like
if you're trying to do a Canadian accent, it's a boat. They say a boat.
Boot.
No, literally like you're trying to sail away on a boat.
Have you ever done the?
There's nothing else
have
to
you
it.
ever done the say toy boat 10 times fast in a row? It's impossible.
Oh yeah, because you end up saying toy boy.
Like toy boy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toy boat, 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 toy boat.
It happens so fastly.
Oh,
it's so fastly. Listen to me. Good lord, I'm broken too. But yeah, no. I'll end the debate here. I lived very close to Michigan. I lived technically more south than you, but in a country north of you. It's a fun situation with the little leg that kicks into the United States. Yeah, this is what Ontario does. Not sure why. Every single Ontarian does that. I don't get it. Don't make fun. You're Bostonian or whatever. Massachusettsian.
Masshole.
Masshole. Right. So, excuse me.
Yeah, right.
Masshole. What actually is the like? I live in Massachusetts. What is?
I don't know. Massholes. Bostonian.
But I mean, not everyone lives in Boston. Lives in Massachusetts.
Okay, but nobody remembers that Massachusetts is like a longer state. Everyone thinks it's just like Boston and like that surrounding area and Salem and shit, and you just come up the coast. But people forget that there's Worcester, which is a good thing, and they forget about Springfield, which is all the fucking way on the other side of the state. And like as far as cities, is as shitty as you would expect a Springfield to be. You know, I'm doing good stuff, but like I have noticed a trend in my life where Springfields tend to be shittier cities to live in.
Shouts to all the people that listen to us in Springfield. Love you all. You're doing the best that you can.
Well, I'm just like when I was in Oregon, the sister city Eugene, Springfield, Oregon. Not as nice as Eugene, Oregon. Okay, here, Springfield, Mass, not as nice as Worcester, and Worcester's not as nice as Boston. Okay.
So, I mean, I've never been to a Springfield. I'm gonna have to take your word because the only Springfield I know is The Simpsons, right? And you know, that seems like a pretty interesting place to live. I would live in Springfield.
I think
Simpsons
you should
land.
find your nearest Springfield in Georgia, and go ahead and drive through it.
That feels like a bad idea because if it's in North Georgia, I don't want to go back there at all. North Georgia's scary. There are some scary
really
people
scary
in North Georgia.
There. My sister's husband is black, and when he was growing up, they lived in Stone Mountain for like a year or two. And he was like, it was not a fun time. It's like it's beautiful. Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, I feel like it's gotten better recently with the improvements to Atlanta and all that. Shout outs to Stacey Abrams and everyone there. Yeah. Still, I went to the North Georgia mountains on a little vacation. We went to a cabin. Wanted to go into the mountains, and driving through there was a lot of flags that were not American flags, but of a very specific president, and they were on almost every house, and it made me very nervous.
Do you ever go on it? I'm like going all over the place today, but do you ever go on to subreddits, Reddit, and just look up your like local big city? Like I'm sure there's an Atlanta one, or there's a Toronto one, or sometimes there's regional ones like Ontario.
I've been on the Atlanta one, and I've been on the Memphis one. And I actually also subscribe to the Ireland subreddit because it's good. It's very funny. They're very funny on that subreddit.
I believe that. There's something really amusing about just like the small scale of like the Boston one is not like there is a few posters who are just like they're the curmudgeonly guy, on the corner of the street when you're driving around who's yelling profane things. And I think it's
and then he goes on Reddit after and shitposts.
And has the worst opinions ever, and I love it. And there's this one house in the town that I live in where during the cycle, the house was posted multiple times for how much excitement they had for a certain political figure. Yeah, except I believe they only had the top half of the home, and the bottom half of the rental was like a regular, normal human being who, whatever. And so when the election happened, they took stuff down for a while, and then they just put it back up, and it says something like, "Don't bury me in this country when I die," or something. "Democracy is dead," or something along those lines. And it's the work of art, frankly.
What the
handmade,
hell?
Like, my man went to Home Depot, was like, "Give me a paint, give me a brush, and give me a big cloth." Incredible.
Man, just in general, don't stan political figures. Just in general. All right, there's a few that I like. Very small amount of politicians I actually care about, but just in general, don't stan a politician.
I would go so far as say just don't stan. Like, we seem to forget that stan comes from a song where shit goes off the rails at the end because he has an unhealthy parasitic relationship with a celebrity.
Okay, so funny thing you bring that up because normally I would agree with you.
Okay.
Normally, I would agree with you there. In fact, in most cases, I would say the feelings that people have for people that don't know them or just online figures or something like that, super unhealthy, right? I forget the name of that. I'm not going to get into it. But I did very recently.
Sorry.
Parasocial. Thank you. That is, yes, a parasocial relationship. I did very recently stumble across a YouTube video from our boy at Vsauce.
Okay.
And it was about how time passes, right? And I was like, okay, this is, it's gonna be interesting. Like, it's basically the whole premise was when you get older, does time go faster than when you were younger? And there was a part where he said, when you care about something more, time will go slower in your head because when you look back on it, there are more events that happened that your brain will kind of bring back, right? Because whenever you have like important memories or like fun events, the day feels like it was longer. Like, for example, if you get stuck at the airport for 7 hours and then you finally make it to your destination, even though 7 hours is an incredible long time to be at an airport, and the destination say you're only doing something for 4 hours where you have to go to sleep, when you look back on it, the 4 hours will seem much longer than being stuck at the airport.
Okay.
All that to say, Michael, Vsauce, said that if you actually stand something or stand for something, more things that you care about will happen, and you will feel like you are living longer because you are having longer days.
Okay, that's cool. But I think stan implies a level of obsession that is unhealthy and stems from a literally very toxic and unhealthy like place of pop culture. So I think you're totally right. And like, I agree, like people get a little too obsessed with a thing, but also just, I think really the takeaway is enjoy things, but like chill. Like enjoy things, but like you can love things, but I like everything in moderation. And I just there is an implication which I don't think a lot of people use when like I stand that, like that's just like
right,
like they don't actually mean like I'm obsessively, unhealthily, toxically obsessed with this one specific thing or person.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my girlfriend in the trunk and drive off a bridge.
Exactly.
Again, allusion to the lyrics to Stan by Eminem, right. By the way. I'm not a thing I did. Everyone, don't call the police. Not a thing I did. It was an Eminem reference. Listen to the song Stan.
But still, I think it's that one piece of like pop culture of like meme is weird and like implies a weird level of attraction. I just like every time people say it, I'm like, can we not? Can you just say, I love that? Oh my God. Instead of, I stand
oh my God,
that.
I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm like your biggest
I'm a fan.
I know everything about you. I was there when you were born. And like, you think I'm not there when you're sleeping, but I'm peeking.
What is this? This accent is a mixture of things. What are you invoking here?
I don't really know. I started going for the like, oh my God.
Oh, the Valley Girl.
The Valley Girl. And then I just couldn't keep it consistent. And you just let it flow,
It kind of, it slowly turned into like Spanish Mom almost there.
Yo, I mean, the default for a lot of stuff is Spanish Mom. I can't deny it.
All right, so how do we bring this back to GameStonks?
Do we bring it back to GameStonks?
Do we bring it back?
I feel like if you were in a place to make a boatload of money off of GameStonks, good for you. And I think for the people who are out there and holding it for the principle of it, I think they all have balls of steel or whatever non-gendered version of that phrase you would like to have.
Balls and or ovaries of steel.
There you go. And that I wouldn't have done that. I would have cashed out and taken my money. And like, that's very selfish of me. But like, I also know that if someone says, hey, if you cash out now, you could get $50,000. Okay. Like,
hey, I mean, from the words of, what was it, Jay-Z, what's 50 grand to a motherfucker like me? Could you please remind me? And then from the wise words from George Watsky, that's a life-changing amount of money for normal people.
Yeah, it really is. I do very much like on some level admire the people who are like, I put in a ton of money into this and I'm just holding, whether it crashes or not. I'm out here to screw the big market guy. I think that's really cool. I also just
actually
couldn't do it.
On entirely completely on that note, I saw a post that I fully actually resonated with on that Wall Street's Bets subreddit, which it's hard to find something to resonate. That subreddit is a wild ride, always has been an absolutely wild ride, and even more so recently, where this guy just kind of had this long post about why he's holding, and it essentially boiled down to he has been poor. There's been times where he had a little bit of money and then was poor again, despite him either having $1,110. So if he makes money off of this, it doesn't matter. And if he loses all the money put into it, he'll be essentially back to where he's always been. So it's not really a big deal to him. And I was like, I get that, my man. I so much understand that feeling of like, cool, I'm just going to sit back and play video games anyway. Nothing's changed,
Like, this too shall pass, like it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, like if I came into $50,000, I don't know. I'd probably continue playing video games. I might buy some nice instruments and a vehicle, and then be essentially right back where I started.
I wouldn't spend it.
No?
No, I wouldn't reinvest it either. It would just go into my savings account and then just sit there, I think. I honestly feel like where I'm at in my life, I like don't really, there's not a lot that I like want, that I'm like, oh, if only I had so much more money, I would like that. Like I feel like with me in this year of life, like I have slowly been accumulating the shit that I want, and like I am in a fortunate enough position to have a lot of it, and I don't know,
I mean, I'm absolutely in the same boat. Again, been very fortunate. I've mentioned it a bunch of times. Incredibly fortunate this past year when a lot of people were losing jobs. I was able to work from home, which is why I started donating a lot more. I've kind of got a lot of the things that I've already wanted, right? And so like if I did come into $50,000, like again, we're just saying 50,000 because. Right. That seems to be kind of where people like struck it big, like normal people struck it big, was around the $50,000 to $60,000 range. Not a lot would change. Like I said, I got kids, so I'd save a majority of that for them, right? And so really, it would not be a life-changing amount of money. It would just be more of a cushion for my kids. And I'd be able to buy a cool drum set or something,
like a little something.
Yeah, just a little something to be like, hell yeah, But otherwise, I'm not like, it's not like I got like another year on my lease. Yeah. I'm not moving.
No. Yeah, and like I feel like I would just throw that into my I would like to buy a home relatively soon fund, and that would mean I could look for places that are a little bit nicer than the shitholes that we looked at 3 or 4 episodes ago.
Okay, I actually still have that one with the jail bookmarked. I'm looking at the bookmark right now. I still have it. Oh my god. Okay, then I got a hypothetical for you. Say you are so we talked about the guy that invested in like September. He goes by the Reddit username Deep Fucking Value. So let's say you're Deep Fucking Value and you have now come into $50 million instead. What changes in your life with $50 million? Say you cashed out, you have that cash now.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think I would do the things they tell you to do when you win the lottery, which is like completely anonymize things, get a lawyer, get a financial person to take all the money and then just put it into an account and then live off the interest for the rest of your life, right? Because now you're a rich person and you look down at all the other people. I'm joking about that last part.
Right, yeah. I mean, yeah, no, you become rich, you look down at
that's gone around.
You look down at the pores, right?
Of course not. Of course not. We joke. I think it's a tough question because fathoming that amount of money is tough.
Yeah, it's hard to think about, honestly.
I feel like I would buy more food. I would go to restaurants and get takeout more, which is ridiculous, but like I feel like sometimes I look at takeout and I'm like, DoorDash is making this $15 thing $30. I will just starve.
Oh my God, yeah.
But then I'm like, I'll give bigger tips and that sort of thing. But like, I look at where I am now, and I think it's the same thing where like I have a perfectly functional, nice car. I mean, I might, you know, take it out and like exhibit it a little bit and get like Google, you know, like Android Auto and like remote start or something like that. I think the only big purchase I would make would be a home.
Right.
And then figure out, like, maybe I put some aside for my nieces for their college fund if they still have to deal with that capitalist bullshit when they're older. Or if there's even planet left when they're older. And then...
I mean, all signs point to capitalism still.
True.
You know.
True. I don't know. It's a tough question. It's, you know, it's funny you asked me this because my girlfriend asked me this. We had this talk like a month or two ago, and it's the same thing. I was like, I honestly don't really know what I would do. I might buy a new car, but I just bought a new car like last year, so I don't need a new car.
So you're there, right? You have the thing, you know.
I think me in this moment now would want future me to be so cautious about the money trap, you know, that most people who win the lottery or come out in a big windfall lose all the money within a year or two and are much, much less happy at the end of the day than people who go through a tough situation and get through it, right? So it's like the classic happiness thing. It's what everyone does. It's the same thing as the train, you know, the train thing where the lever problem. You kill one man or five men.
Oh, yeah.
One person or five people, sorry. Where it's like a person who has lost the use of their legs in the moment is a lot worse off, but the studies do show that when they start processing it and moving through it, that their life is actually better off than the person who's won 10, 15, 30, 40, 50 million dollars. And I remember seeing a headline that said like the studies for, you know, money makes you happier, and money does make you happier up to about $90,000 a year. And then after that, it kind of like, you know,
with diminishing returns.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like it's so much money. I don't know what I would do. All of that's long-winded. What would you do if you got $50,000, $50 million?
50. So yeah, again, you kind of mentioned it, but like that amount of money for someone who's never had even close to like not even a percentile of that amount of money is really hard to even like comprehend. But I think besides all the adult things, like, you know, get, you know, an investment person, a good lawyer, all those things, you know, besides all that stuff, I would definitely make sure that my sister has all her loans paid off from school. Shout outs to Danielle, who was on last episode. She's coming out of dental school and all that good stuff. I'd make sure that was paid off. And I would honestly just kind of pick a place and live there. You know, like I've mentioned the mountains before. I'd love to just kind of live my days off in the mountains.
Oh man.
You know, and if I like that, I would be a mountain man, you know.
I have this image of you like buying yourself a really nice like mountain excavating machine. You just climb up like Mount Rushmore and you're just like build a hobbit hole for yourself in the nose of like Abraham Lincoln or some shit.
Okay, actually, again, kind of on that note, it's funny because my wife and I have had this hypothetical question before. Because we would drive through, every so often you drive through an incredibly rich neighborhood and you're like, oh my God. And every single time both of us are like, I don't ever want a house that large. So like, even if we do come into $50 million, we wouldn't be getting one of those giant mansions, you know, like with more rooms than you could ever have people that in your life, you know, like they're just like obnoxiously large. And it's like, I wouldn't be into that. You know, honestly, I think the best part about coming into that would just be the comfortability. I wouldn't really want to change my life all that much. Yeah. You know, I'd still want to have something to fill my time, you know? So like, whether it be being in the video game industry or making music, I'd still want something to like fill my time. You know, just living off of $50 million sounds kind of boring after a little while. You know?
No, yeah, I think that's the thing that would, on that note, I do feel like that's the thing that I would agree with and change is that I think I would quit my day job and start trying to figure out passion projects that I could just be doing consistently.
Yeah. You can finally write that novel you've been thinking about.
You know, what if I told you I have 11 novels already written under the pen name Judius III?
I would believe you.
That was a lie.
Actually.
A total lie. And just like Judius was a lie, games are sometimes a lie, Slosh, and I feel like we should transition over to the games in the last 10 minutes.
Wow,
of the show.
What a segue. What a segue, my dude.
Trash. I agree. What video should we play? I should get new videos, man. We should get new videos for this.
These are pretty good. Though I will say, I saw a few people in chat mentioning what they would do with if they came into $50 million. I actually want to kind of explore that question a bit more. I would like to.
Let's do it.
I mean, no, I mean like for a future episode, like if someone is to, if y'all want, send us either in the Discord or probably Twitter is a bit too short. So in our Discord, yeah, send us what you do with 50 million. We could read off and kind of talk a little bit more about that because again, that is so
much
like an unfathomable amount of money. It's just an unfathomable amount of money.
It really is.
But all right, what is our game?
I got a few here. We haven't done these. So they may be good, they may be terrible. We're gonna start with this one.
Hell yeah.
Replace the missing letters. And we're gonna read the instructions because I have not read the instructions.
I mean, this sounds just like the stock market. It might work, it might not.
You know,
that's just the nature of it, baby.
Let's go. So, fill in the missing letters to reveal a list of hobbies and pastimes.
Okay.
We're just not gonna write the thing on a board. Shout answers. Okay. Cool, we're just gonna go through. Do we want a timer? We usually like to have a timer, don't we?
Yeah, let's do a timer.
All right, we'll do a timer. Yeah.
You want to do like three minutes? Feels good, like just so we can get a handle of it, or are we?
No, I think 3 is good.
Big wimpy boys for that. 3, cool.
3 is good.
Okay.
We've never played this one, so we don't know. I'm gonna start it right now. We're gonna scroll down. Oh Lord. Okay.
Wow.
Pastimes, hobbies, and pastimes, and it's missing letters or it's one letter. I think it's the one means that there's one letter.
There's just one letter that fills in all of these? There's no way.
No. I think each one has its thing. So let's see. Allow players to chat. Instead of scoring, you might consider when the game is over. I don't know. Let's just try it. Our time is ticking.
Good God.
So the first one is OL in the middle, and there's a letter in the beginning and a letter behind.
And all I can think of is gold.
Gold. Roll, pastimes, and hobbies.
Wow.
Wow. I don't know if it's...
Is it golf?
Golf. Yeah, okay, so the one is
it golf?
Maybe it's points or words or something, but it's golf. It's
yeah,
golf.
I think it's points. I think number 3 is bicycling.
Yep, I think you're right on that one.
Bicycling. I think number 3 is bicycling. But what number 2?
Knitting?
So
knitting.
it's
knitting.
Is it? Oh yeah, knitting. So it's
Knitting. Knitting.
Okay, dope. Okay, and then bicycling. I think. Yep. Okay, and then for 2, fly fishing. Number 4 is fly fishing.
I'm not good at this one.
Yeah,
this is tough for me.
GA space and then a second word space ENI.
It's one word.
Is it?
That's what the one is.
Okay, so it's one word.
It's for how many?
Oh, gotcha.
And
okay.
ends in ing.
Yeah, absolutely ends in ing. Gardening.
Gardening.
That's gardening.
God, you're good at this. One word. E.
Thank you.
Esquire.
E space ROI.
Probably ends in an S.
What has? Yeah. What? What the hell? ROI. Goodness.
This is very challenging.
E space ROI space ER.
Embroidering?
Blank. Embroider. That's too long. Embroidering.
Okay. We'll keep going. Skip it. SCAIING. 2 words. A.
That A at the end is really messing with me. The
Scala?
SC 2 spaces
No.
A. Is the second word diving?
EIVING could be.
Well then,
Scuba diving. Scuba diving.
scuba diving.
Whoa, okay,
Okay.
nice.
Okay.
This is really hard.
Plot digging.
No.
Ba-
One word.
Grave robbing.
We're
Wow.
out of time.
P space.
just
Yeah.
keep
Wow.
going.
This is
This
a
is
lot.
very
Okay.
challenging.
Yeah. Let's keep going. This one's really tough. So.
Photography.
Yeah. So. Wow. That was exactly what that
It
is.
clicked for me there.
It just hit you.
Um,
Wow. Yeah. Photography.
IRAT.
Okay. And then we have. So yeah, space, IR, 2 blanks, ATC,
Space.
blank, and then it would be ING for sure.
What if it's a K? So it's like atting. No, it's not a K.
Yeah, that ATC, that's got to be. I feel like it's got to be another consonant after the C, right? Like
I feel like it needs to be a K. Like K's need. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna go to the next one. That one's beyond me right now.
okay, and then we got
Space IG space A space. And the second word EU space LE.
oh, bro, 11 is square dancing.
Yeah,
I'll give you
it is
that
definitely
for sure.
square
That one's
dancing.
square
It's a
dancing.
good one.
And 12 is stamp collecting.
Stamp collecting, nice. And 13 would be
And then
flower
13 is flower arranging.
Yep, and then 14.
15 is collecting butterflies, by the
Which
way.
is ridiculous. But
And then 14 is whitewater rafting.
all right. Oh, let's go see how we did.
Yeah, because the rest of them I can't do, but I got all those, no problem.
All right, golf, knitting, bicycling, fly fishing, gardening, embroidery. We were right.
You were right. You said embroidering, but I'll give you that.
all right, cool.
I'll give you embroidery for sure.
Scuba diving, photography, bird watching.
Bird watching. That's oh
Jig
oh it was an H
puzzles.
after. Are you go up to 10? Go up to 10. I need to see what 10 was. Oh my god, it's so obvious
Absolutely.
now.
I mean,
it's so obvious now.
That's still a hard one.
Good
Oh my
lord.
goodness. Okay, square dancing, stamp collecting, flower
Stamp
arranging,
collecting.
water rafting.
Oh my god, absolutely killed it. And then collecting butterflies.
Okay,
Hell yeah.
cool.
Hell
Not
yeah.
bad.
We did great.
Yeah, we
We did great. We missed. Did we miss just
2 or
two?
3.
Because we missed jigsaw puzzles and bird watching.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Alright, so this is a different one, different game, different style. It's called Kickoff.
Okay.
All the answers in this word definition game end with the letter K. K is the last letter of the thing, and I think
Last
this
letter.
is a word definition game. So we read the
Okay.
definition, we figure it out. So like this is saying, or whatever. We'll just do it.
What?
It
Okay.
ends with a K.
All right. Do we want to try another timer on this one? Maybe we're a little bit better at this, or we want to go without a timer and
We'll do 3 minutes again. I feel 3 minutes is like our standard, and if we don't do it in 3 minutes,
Right.
we suck. But we're just gonna.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, let's go.
We're going timer. Oh my god, please. Okay, here we go. Roast turkey leg.
Oh, you get it at like at festivals and
I know. Drumstick.
drumstick. Yeah.
Drumstick.
Drumstick. That's gotta be
Herd of sheep.
a herd of sheep. All I could think of is a flock,
That's
and
not
that's
a flock.
That's not a flock. That's not at all a
No, it's not a flock at all. A farm. It's not any of the letter K.
Well, farm doesn't end in K.
No, I'm just trying to think. A herd of sheep. A flock of sheep.
It's no
I'm gonna
whatever.
say flock. Let's go into flock.
Sure, a flock.
Okay.
A flock.
Copenhagen's country. I'm bad at geometry.
Isn't that Denmark?
That's it. For whatever reason, in my head, I was thinking Dunkirk, which is not that at all.
Copenhagen and I'm gonna feel like a dumb ass if Copenhagen's not in Denmark.
Whatever. A one-person paddle boat, kayak.
Kayak, absolutely.
Relatives?
Absolutely.
Aunt, uncle, niece, nephew.
It's not sibling, but it's a word similar to sibling. Oh, I'm thinking of kin, which is wrong.
No. Relatives.
Oh man, just relatives. Is it okay? So is it people relatives or is it something relative to another thing?
I feel like it's got to be people.
Because all I can think of is family, kin, siblings. I don't know.
Skip it.
Guess. Cool.
To make small in size or amount.
That's shrink.
Shrink.
That's shrink.
Okay. Mallard
Yeah.
or canvasback. Duck.
Duck. Nice.
Crackpot. Flake. Wacko. Kooky.
It's gotta be a
Kook.
kook, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Like sure.
Safe pedestrian area is a crosswalk.
A crosswalk. I would go with crosswalk on that.
Okay.
I guess.
A small hut or booth, often open on all sides, from which newspapers, refreshments, tickets, etc. are sold.
Oh my God! I can see it in my head exactly what it's talking about. No, it just ends with a K. It does have to. Kiosk. Nice. Okay.
A particular skill, aptitude, or talent.
It is something like
Knack.
a veteran.
You have a
Knack.
knack for something.
Wow.
Inexpensive
Wow.
household ornament.
We're out of time, but let's just go through this real quick. Inexpensive household. That's a knickknack.
Knick-knack.
That's a knickknack.
Okay. Earthquake follower.
Wait, is that someone that follows earthquakes?
So?
Like actually like a tornado watcher, but this one's an earthquake follower?
Yeah, I don't know. This one to me, I'm like tsunami. Tsunami.
What's the word for like the scale it's on?
Oh.
The Richter. Oh, I'm thinking of the
Richter.
Richter scale, am I not? Yeah. Wow, I don't know what that would be called, an earthquake follower. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, okay, we'll skip. The capital of Thailand.
What is the capital of Thailand?
Bangkok?
Sure. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Thanks, American education. An illegal payment made to someone who has helped organize or facilitate a transaction.
I feel like we should know this at this point.
Right.
Because all I can think of is a crook.
Me too.
Which actually might be the other one instead of a kook.
Could be.
No, a kook, because it was someone that's the wacko or whatever. So it's not the person, it's the payment. It's the word of the payment. So it's when you do an illegal thing and get the money from the illegal thing, you get
A front.
back
What
pay.
if you have to think for the front?
No, it's like back pay.
Back pay, but
It's a word like back pay. Is it kickback?
Kick?
You get kickback? Is that the illegal term?
let's try it. Kick back. I think we take it.
Is that the illegal term?
The illegal term.
Is that the one? I don't do illegal things. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh my God, we were
were
right.
right.
Drumstick, flock,
Denmark. Kayak.
kayak.
Kinfolk.
Oh, that's. I was on the right track with kin.
You had it. You had it.
I was
with
on the right
kin.
track with kin. I couldn't quite bring it in for kinfolk though, but we did do really well on shrink, duck. Got to give it to you on kook. That was a great job. Crosswalk, hell yeah, good one on that. Kiosk, knack, and then knick-knack, just back to aftershock. Oh, not a person that follows earthquakes.
Thing.
The thing that happens after an earthquake, an aftershock.
Damn.
Oh, did we get Denmark right?
We did.
I totally skipped over that.
We got Denmark and Bangkok. We are
Wow, great job. And it was kickback.
It was kickback.
It was kickback.
Hell
It's the
yeah.
illegal thing.
Hell yeah.
It's. I'm a little upset about kinfolk. I'm gonna be honest there. I'm a little upset about kinfolk,
Okay.
but
You got real close. You
I'll
got
let it
kin.
slide. Yeah, but
I guess kin comes from
it doesn't
kinfolk.
count.
All right, I got 2 other games prepped. Do we want to do one?
Let's grab one. Let's grab one of those.
We got
Your
give me
favorite.
a word that or initial. Let's do initial game. I think give me a word that is a little crazy.
Sure. Okay.
All right.
I trust you.
All the answers in this game consist of 2-word phrases that begin with the initials FS. So I think the first word is F.
Oh.
The second word is F. 3 minutes.
So, okay.
You're gonna do it.
Nice. I believe in us.
I
So everything has the initials FS in this. So, okay. Old Blue Eyes.
I'm gonna skip that one.
I'm looking at these other ones here, and I
got like number 2 is a flying saucer.
Flying saucer, good one. Yeah, a UFO is a flying saucer. Michelle Kwan, Brian Boitano, or Katarina Witt?
Who's Michelle Kwan is famous. What is she famous for?
She was in the Olympics.
Yeah.
She did a thing in the Olympics.
FS swimming, freestyle swimming,
Figure skating.
figure skating.
Michelle Kwan was the figure skater.
Yes. Okay. Oklahoma, the only U.S. state that still allowed this method of execution. Freestyle.
FS.
Free shoot.
Yeah, freestyle execution where they're just like, whoa, roll a skateboard out, do a few kick flips.
I don't know, but the next one is feng shui, the ancient Chinese practice that dictates spatial arrangement of a home or building based on the flow of energy.
Nice. Okay. I feel like, it's gotta be like this a syringe, right? Is it the syringe? The fatal? Oh, I'm thinking of fatal injection.
Oh, I don't know, man. Damn.
All right, I'm gonna look at Twitch chat. Twitch chat, help me out.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna tell me what does Twitch chat say?
Okay. So TWK Smash says number 1 is actually Old Blue Eyes is Frank Sinatra.
That is it. My man is on
Frank
point.
Sinatra. And he says this one is full stop.
No, full stop
what does
is
that
number
mean?
6.
No, that's number 6.
Number 6
Okay,
is
so
full
no,
stop.
okay.
British term for
And
the
let's move
period
on from
at the end of the sentence, also commonly used in dictating a telegram. Full stop.
Okay, I mean that one. Yeah, I
Bob
actually
Dylan,
didn't know
Pete
that one.
Seeger,
though.
and John Prine.
The folk singer. Cool.
Type of animal
Nice.
that Bullwinkle's pal Rocky was.
He was a flying squirrel. He was a flying
Man,
squirrel.
I love it. These are now distributed through the U.S. welfare program called SNAP, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Programs. Food voucher.
Food. Oh, I know. I feel like I know that word.
I should know this. This is like directly
right?
to my work.
So this is really bad,
really bad.
and you don't know this one.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, oh my God, food stamps.
Food stamps.
We're so dumb.
Holy
It's food
shit.
stamps. It's 100% food
Yep,
stamps.
100%.
Yeah. Are they still stamps or aren't they cards
I don't
now?
know. I think they might be cards. We're out of time
It's
in
food
1 second,
stamps.
but we're going to keep going. This temperature measurement system is used in the United States and its territories, while most of the rest of the world uses Celsius.
The Fahrenheit system.
Yeah, we can go with Fahrenheit system, but
It's definitely Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Scale, maybe Fahrenheit scale or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We take it. By the 20th century, this major London thoroughfare was the center of British national newspaper industry. In fact, its name is synonymous with the British press.
Wow, a lot of English things.
Hey.
Well, I say a lot,
Like
but this
more
is
than one.
yeah, 2.
Fall Street.
Okay. Fall Street? I'm like, what the hell is that? That's just Wall Street with an
No,
F.
that's the point. That's a joke.
Synonymous with the British press. I feel like this one's super obvious.
Oh my god. Oh lord.
Well, I mean, do we just
We
move?
just
Oh,
move
I mean,
on.
we're out of time, so maybe
We
we
just
just
move
move
on,
on
yeah.
here.
Psychoanalysis. This is the term for an error in speech that actually expresses an unconscious desire.
Freudian slip.
Man. Yep.
That's a Freudian slip.
And until the early 20th century, most affluent young women would complete their education at one of these establishments, with lessons on the social graces and upper-class cultural rights.
Okay. Early 20th century.
It's probably fucked up.
Affluent young women. Yeah, I'm worried that it's not good. Lessons on social graces and upper class cultural rights. Is it just something school? It's gotta be something school,
It's
right?
probably something dumb like finalizing school or like finishing school or something.
It's stuff like that. It's gotta be something. It's definitely something school for sure.
All right, let's do the answers and see how we did.
Yeah, let's see how we
Okay,
did.
okay.
See how we did.
Frank Sinatra, shout out TWK. Flying saucer, we got
Nice.
that. Figure skater, nice. Firing squad.
Oklahoma allowed firing squads?
That's the one I was thinking. I was thinking of the shooting one, and I was like,
I'm sorry. What the fuck?
yeah. I mean, it's Oklahoma, but like, I mean, I don't think they allow it
Holy
anymore.
shit.
But
This was in December of 2020. What the hell? A firing squad? My head was not there.
I guess, yeah.
No, Oklahoma, y'all. Chill the hell
I
out.
think they did. They don't allow it anymore. I mean, they could chill out a lot more, but
Wow. Out of all the execution types, which all, again, not good. That one was the one, again, I was thinking of injections.
I was thinking guns. and
My
I
head was
couldn't
not
get
a
the
firing squad. Jesus. Okay, anyway.
Feng Shui, we got that. Full stop.
Yeah.
Folk singers, we got that. Flying squirrel,
Nice.
nice. Food stamps, nice. Fahrenheit scale, nice. Fleet Street.
Okay. It was actually, okay, that one, like I
Demon
said, it was
Barber.
very obvious. Yeah, very obvious. I am upset. I see what number 13 was. We got Freudian slip, and then it actually was just finishing school. Is that a type of school? It's like this is finishing school and not like you finished school?
Yeah, no, you know,
Is
I
it-
have watched, I'm sure I've watched some period dramas or some shit like that where like this has been something that's like a thing where like to become like a proper lady, you go to finishing school and they tell you to wear corsets
Okay.
to make it so you can't breathe and like what's proper
So,
etiquette.
okay. So it is a type of school. It is called finishing school.
Type of bullshit, I think. I mean, that's
I just thought it was just like dumb, like it's just you finished school. Like that's where my head was.
no, I think it's
I'm
an
still
actual
giving us
kind-
the
like,
credit. I'm just-
faux educational institution. That's not actually educational. Hence the faux.
Well, anyway, there we go. Well, thank you all for helping us out with and having fun with the game, and also talking about. We talked about a lot of stuff. Oh, do we have more? Do we have more capital gains to go on
No,
about?
we're closing out. I just wanted to talk about one more time.
All right. I mean, you want to go through? You want to go through the spiel?
I can try. Folks, thank you for sitting through, watching, and listening and learning about the stock market with us. Remember, as a disclaimer, nothing that we talked about should be taken seriously, is any kind of financial or legal advice. And if you follow it,
None
you
of it
do
was
so
good advice
at
either.
your own risk. Don't listen to brilliant idiots on the internet. Or do, but that's your own decision, and you've been disclaimed.
That's totally up to
Folks,
you.
this is the Lightning Boys podcast. My name is Toast BH. I'm joined by Sloshula. We're here every Thursday night, right around 10 p.m. We talk about cool stuff and sometimes uncool stuff, but mostly just cool stuff. And
Yeah.
I guess that's it for me.
Yeah. Follow us on Twitter at the Sloshla, at ToastBH. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you. This is streamed live on twitch.tv/Brawlhalla. Oh my god, twitch.tv/Sloshla. Listen to me with my regular old spiels. Twitch.tv/Sloshla. Don't you dare go to twitch.tv/Brawlhalla.
All right, I'm gonna end
Have
it
a-
now.
Have a great night. Have a great night, everyone. Beautiful. Yeah. Oh god, please make it stop.